Good morning, my dear students. Today I will start from class 3 maths multiplication process. Class 3 maths multiplication fact. That means multiplication fact and repeated addition. What is multiplication fact and what is repeated addition form? Repeated addition form. Suppose it is 2 multiplied with 3. That means suppose it is 3 multiplied with 6. There are two forms: number of group and elements in each group. Elements in each group. At first, number of group. How many groups are there? 1, 2, 3 groups are there. So we should write here the number of group 3. Okay, and each and every group has its own 6 elements are there. That means we should write here 6. 6 elements. How many times? 3 times. So we should write here repeated addition form. On that time we should write here repeated addition. That means 6 repeatedly addition with 3 times. Okay. If it is 2 multiplied with 7, that means number of group, 2 groups are there. That's why we should write here 2, and each and every group has its own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because it is 7. So each and every group has its own 7 elements. So we should write here 7. So 7 how many times? 7 2 times. On the repeated addition forms, we should write here 7 plus 7, because 7 in 2 times. If 6 in 3 times, we should write 6 in 3 times, 6 plus 6 plus 6. That is the repeated addition form, and that is the multiplication fact. So suppose it is 4 multiplied with 5. That means we should write here 4. 4, that means 4 groups. That means 4 groups. 1, 2, 3 and 4 groups. Each and every group has its own 5 elements. So we should write here 5. That means each and every group has its own 5 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That means 5. Each and every element has its 5 elements. Each and every group has its own 5 elements. That means we should write here 5, because each and every group has its own 5 elements. 5 elements how many times? The number of group 4. So we should write here 4 times in 5. That is the repeated addition. That means you should write the same number in repeated time. How many time? At first you should follow how many groups are there. Here is 4 groups, so we should write 4 times in 5. If it is 2 groups, then we should write 2 times. If it is 3 groups, then we should write here 3 times. Each and every group has its own 6, 7 or 5 elements. That means 6 repeatedly right here. That means if each and every group has its own 6 elements, that means we should write the 6 in repeated time. If each and every group has its own 7 elements, that means we should write 7 in repeated times. If there is 5 elements in each and every group, that means we should write 5 in repeated times. How many times? You should follow how many groups are there. If 5 groups, if the 4 groups, you should repeat the numbers in time of the group's number. Okay? If it is 4 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4 groups, so we should write 4 times in 5. 4 times we should write here. If it is number of group 2, then we should write 2 times. If it is 3, That means 3 groups are there. That means we should write the repeatedly number in 3 times. Okay, that is the method. So you should do your homework properly. This one is called the group repeated addition form and the table of 2. Repeated addition 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times 2. That means we should repeated 2 because each and every group has its own two elements. So we should write here 2. How many times? 1, 2, 3 times. 1 times, 2 times and 3 times. So we should write here 3 times. That means 3 multiplied with 2. Because 3 groups are there, we should write 3. And each and every group has its own 2 elements. So we should multiply with 2. Okay. Suppose it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 group. That means we should write here 9. Each and every group has its own 2 elements, so multiply with 2. That is the same. So on this way we should know the table or multiplication table. Two tens are 20. That means 2 tens are 20. That means 2 multiply with 10. That is 20. Okay. If 7 tens are 70. That means 7 tens. That means 7 multiply with 10. That is 70. 9 tens are 90. That means 9 tens. That means multiply with 10. That is 90. It is called product, multiplier and multiplicand. So we should do the multiplication. 2 ones are 2 here, 2 fours are 8 here, 2 twos are 4 here. If it is carrying number, then we should carry in the next left. Carries number, we should add it in the next left. Suppose it is 4 twos are 8, 4 eights are 34. That means 2 here and 3 carries in the next left. 4 ones are 4 plus 3, that is 7. So I will tell you. How to multiply the number 146. If 146 multiply with 8, 1 is placed, 10 is placed, 6 8s are 48. That means we should write here 8. 4 is in here. That means 4 carries in the next left. 4 is a 34 plus 4. 4 is a 32. Sorry, 4 is a 32 plus 4, that is 36. That means we should write here 6. 3 carries in the next left. 8 ones are 8 plus 3, that is 11. I will tell you again. At first you should multiply this number 1, 4, 6. At first you should multiply with 8. After that you should go the next left. After that you should go the next left. 6 8s are 48. That means we should write here 8. 4 carries in the next left. After that 8 multiplied with 4. It is like this. At first 8 multiplied with 6. After that 8 multiplied with 4. After that 8 multiplied with 1. 4 8s are 48. That means we should write here 48. 8 is at the place of 1, so we should write here 8. 4 carries in the next left. 4 8s are 32. That means 32 and 4 carries in the next left. That means 36. 36 on that time, 6 right here, and 3 carries in the next left. 8 ones are 8 plus 3, that is 11. So that this is the answer. Don't write the answer, this is the product. Okay. Suppose it is 1157 by 2 multiplied with 7. 7 2s are 14. So we should write here 4. 1 4 14 4. 1 is carries in the next left. 7 5s are 35 plus 1, that is 36. So we should write here 6. 3 carries in the next left. 7 ones are 7 plus 3, that is 10. So we should write here 0. 1 carries in the next left. 7 ones are 7 plus 1, that is 8. Okay. 7 2s are 14. And 1 carries in the next left. 5 7s are 35 plus 1, that is 36. So we should write here 6. After that, 3 carries in the next left. 3 carries in the next left. 7 ones are 7 plus 3, that is 10. So we should write here, if it is 10, 1's place is at the 0. That means we should write here 0. That is the 10th place. And 1 carries in the next left. 7 ones are 7 plus 1, that is 8. Okay. So these are your homework. All of these are your homework. So you should do your homework properly. If any number multiplied with 0, that is also the 0. Suppose it is 70 multiplied with any number, it is 700. At first, 70, if 70 multiplied with 1, that is 70. So we should write here 1. If 70 multiplied, if any number can be multiplied with 1, that is also the same number. But last 1 0 is in here, so we should write here 0. If it is, that means 2 zeros left, so we should write here 000. Okay, so we should do the fill up the box. That is called multiplicand. That is called multiplier. And that is called the product. Okay. Skip counting. After today, we should count. We should learn the skip counting. Okay, like I will teach you again in my next class, but I will just introduce from this chapter. Suppose it is 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. If we should 2 multiply with 3, that means we should 2 how many times? 3 times. That means 1 times, 2 times and 3 times, or first time, second time and third time. That means each and every skip by the counting of 2, 2, 2, that is 6. 6 is in here. Okay, that is also called the skip counting. With a skip counting, we will know the how to multiplication. Multiplies. Also we can find out the multiplies, or also we can multiply the numbers. Okay. In my next class, I will teach you in discuss or briefly. Okay. Okay. Thank you, my dear students. You should do your homework properly and regularly. Thank you so much.